Hey, wish you were here. These trends are unreal. The aesthetic is out there. The homes are eclectic. And the parties, well, they get a little hairy. You're gonna love what you see, and you're gonna see it before anyone else.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nikki Shetty. I lead the business marketing global campaigns team here at Pinterest. I'm joined today with Jenna Landy, our director of brand research, and Leah Gordon, our senior manager of content and writing. And we are so very excited to share our Pinterest Predicts 2023 report with you today. Pinterest Predicts is a predictive look ahead into what we believe will be trending across home, beauty, fashion, food, well-being, parenting, travel, design, and much more. We are in our 9th year, and in 2023, our report offers up to nearly 30 trends. Today, we'll talk about how our predictive trends can help you get ahead of your competitors this year, and we'll dig in deep on just a few of our favorite trends from the report. But before we dive into the details of the report itself, I want to spend just a few minutes on why we think you should consider Pinterest for your media plans. Our mission is to give everyone the inspiration to create a life they love. As a visual discovery platform, our users find things that are interesting and save them, creating pins and boards for their favorite ideas. And Pinterest is different. We're all about giving people the inspiration to actually get offline and experience things in their real lives. The journey from inspiration to realization, from idea to I did. People show up on Pinterest for a reason. They come for inspiration that could be a life moment, a new house or a baby, or a seasonal moment like back to school or the holidays. It could even be an everyday moment, like a dinner idea for tonight or something new to watch on TV. What's special about our users are not just their demographics, but moments and interests, and the fact that it's all grounded in the future. It hasn't happened yet. This is very different from how people use other platforms. Here's an example. Other platforms will show you what someone has done or is doing right now. On Pinterest, they come to plan the party. They come to discover ideas and inspiration to ensure its success. This planning mindset of our users is what makes them so valuable. If brands show up in the right context, then their ad is the answer. This is a radical departure from the notion that online ads are interruptive, imprecise, and infuriating. Another crucial differentiator, Pinterest is a positive place on the internet. People don't come to talk politics or take someone down. We've been working hard to reduce and ban misinformation on our platform, including weight loss ads and political ads, just to name a few. As a platform, we also introduce inclusive tools to allow users to search for inspiration by hair pattern or skin tone. Showing up in a more positive environment drives impact at every stage of the purchase funnel. 60% of consumers agree that they're more likely to remember, trust, and purchase from brands in positive environments. Making those policy changes has led to this independent finding. We're ranked as the most trusted digital platform in the world, according to Insider Intelligence. And when people arrive positive and open-minded and more trustworthy of the platform, they ultimately buy and spend more. In fact, shoppers on Pinterest have 85% bigger baskets at checkout compared to people on other platforms. That's why 445 million unique users globally come to watch us each month. That scale, plus contextual relevance, plus the planning mindset, the positivity, and the effectiveness, that combination of the pinner and their plans is what makes Pinterest different. With that, I'll pass things over to Jenna, who will speak a little more about trends on Pinterest and our methodology behind this year's report.
Thanks so much, Nikki, and hello, everyone. I'm Jenna Landy, and I lead the team of researchers and analysts behind the trends of Pinterest Predicts. I'm so excited to give you a sneak peek behind the scenes of how we built this year's report, which is truly a blend of art and science. And if you have not already done so, this is a friendly reminder to visit pinterestpredicts.com to go deeper on any of the trends that we'll be taking you through today. So remember 2020, the most chaotic and arguably unpredictable year in recent memory? That year, 80% of our future-looking trend predictions came true. And since then, for the past 3 years, we've found that our predictions continue to be true 80% of the time, which is pretty remarkable. But in a way, it's also sort of expected if you know how and the way people use Pinterest. As Nikki just mentioned, people use it to plan. And so what they want to gift, what to cook for dinner, where they want to go on vacation, all of that planning means that Pinterest is a natural window into the future. And here's an example from last year. Barkitecture was a trend that we predicted that would blow up in 2022. And judging by some of these headlines from all over the world, we can suffice to say that animal first home decor and architecture has absolutely risen in prominence, driven a lot by millennial, Gen Z, and boomer pet parents all over the world. But our accuracy and accountability isn't our only superpower. Our trends are meaningfully different than other trends. We partnered with a research agency, Black Swan Data, to compare how trends on Pinterest compare to the rest of the internet. And according to their findings, Pinterest trends not only start earlier than other trends on other platforms, but they also grow faster. And they also, we learned, last longer than trends anywhere else. From that research, we learned that the average trend, category dependent, lasts around 6 months. However, trends on Pinterest can last 9 months. And that means that people really dig into these trends and make them their own over a longer period of time, giving brands that own those trends more opportunities to have an impact. And one of my favorite findings from our Black Swan research is that our trends dive deeper as well. And this is really unique to Pinterest. So let me explain a little bit why. It means that they can inspire, trends on Pinterest inspire more across categories. And so my favorite example that I use all the time is summer picnic. So anywhere else, a picnic is a meal, but on Pinterest, it's a full-on aesthetic, complete with all of the details, including fashion and beauty, to really set the stage for a perfect outdoor experience. And so I really encourage you to keep an eye out for this, the diving deeper piece, during the rest of the presentation today, and you'll see what I mean. So many of the trends in our report reach far beyond a single category, giving brands more ways in and more opportunities to drive meaningful and culturally relevant connections with consumers. So before I pass it over to Leah, just a little bit under the hood, a little bit of methodology behind our trends. So our trend spotting is really an art and science that happens over the course of months. In the first stage of our process, we start by setting rigorous volume and growth thresholds to sift through the billions of searches that take place on Pinterest each month. And unlike most trends research that looks at just 1 year, we actually analyze over a 2-year look back window, and we capture English language queries from all over the world. Over the past couple of years, we've developed a trend score that uses a predictive modeling approach to help us pinpoint with even more confidence what's likely to trend in the future. We've also added a visual analysis layer that evaluates the actual trend line to ensure that we're identifying trends as close to their inception as possible. And after all, seeing is believing. And to ensure that there's no bias that might skew the data, such as seasonality, we work with normalized searches. This way, we see what's really rising to the top of our platform, and we're not losing opportunity and just, oh, it's Christmas is trending because it's December type of data. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Leah, who will walk you through just a few of the 27 trends of Pinterest Predicts. So take it away, Leah.
Thank you so much, Jenna. And hi, everyone. My name is Leah Gordon. I'm the senior manager on our content and writing team, the amazing team responsible for naming these trends. And my pronouns are she, her. I'm excited to zoom in on some of these trends with you today. And one thing to note is that I think a lot of trends that you see out in the wild are specifically focused on fashion and beauty. And while we definitely have trends focused on those verticals in our report, we also expand beyond those more expected categories. You'll see trends from home, well-being, even financial services. So just keep that in mind that whatever your business or frame of advertising, we have a trend for that. So first up, our first fashion trend, airy styles. This is one of my favorite trends. 2023 fashion will be filled with lace, tulle, ruffles, and shimmer for all. We are seeing this trend especially rising in Gen Z and millennials. They're searching for things like shimmery dress, sheer pants outfit, tulle sleeves. You can see a lot of the imagery. This trend is really ethereal, beautiful. And one of my favorite parts of this trend is that it's not just limited to women or people who identify as women. There is ruffle shirt men popping. Really, people of all genders are getting on board this trend, trading in sort of that moto jacket and combat boots for these ethereal, softer details. So after 2 years of loungewear and sweatpants, there's really a focus on showing off the silhouettes of the body and really this sort of dreamlike, ballet-inspired, gender-agnostic expression of femininity and strength. So we are super excited about this trend, and there are lots of ways for brands to tap in. So if you're a fashion brand, really rethink style beyond gender norms. Share ways for people of all genders to rock ruffles, lace, and tulle in your creative. If you're a beauty brand, tap into these shimmery beauty looks, show shiny makeup tutorials and multifunctional hair accessories that can be used creatively. And if you are a home brand, really think about video assets that feature expressive home accessories like tulle pillows, multi-fabric furniture, or unveil shimmery table settings that blur gender lines. So next up, we have rom-com core. This was a really fun trend to identify and honestly to name. Y2K fashion has been trending for a while, but now people are chasing more than an aesthetic. They want that main character energy that defined the movie industry in the 2000s. So that means really bringing these small moments in their daily lives and really making them feel special. Grounding it in their aesthetic. So searches for everything from 2000s girl to pink mini skirt to rhinestone dress. This is a very nostalgic trend, but it's also being driven by Gen Z and millennials. So think slip dresses, tube tops, cargo pants, and claw clips. And the way that brands can tap in to this trend is if you're a fashion brand, really own that rom-com core name, especially in your creative, because we found that it's really fun and engaging, and help people build the ultimate rom-com core look. So you could feature a carousel on Pinterest or a pin extension to help people mix and match their clothing in their closet for that sort of classic movie makeover montage inspired night out. If you're an entertainment brand, this is a way to spotlight the signature styles from quintessential 2000s films. Really remind every generation that these style icons walked so that modern looks could run. We think some of these modern styles are new, but they're actually really rooted in a lot of movies that are a bit nostalgic. So make sure to feature those. And if you're a food and bev brand, bring back bites and bevs from the 2000s era. Think nostalgic snacks to highlight in your creative as people lean into this main character energy. So next up, we have the celebrations category. This next trend is a really fun one. I cannot keep a straight face when I pronounce it. It's called pool potties. Play on words here. But this trend is exactly what it sounds like. Dogs diving, pups paddling, barking belly flops. In 2023, pool parties will be going to the dogs. This trend is being driven by Gen X and baby boomers. We have a little suspicion that this could have to do with sort of that empty nester experience that people of this generation are having. Kids are gone. It's time to throw a party for their beloved pups. And really substituting kid-oriented gatherings with pet parties. So search terms here, things like mini pool ideas, dog party favors, dog birthday party ideas, decoration. We're talking party invitations, party favors. People are not holding back when they are planning parties for their good boy of the house. And lots of ways for brands to tap into this one. If you're a celebrations brand, think about really showcasing an idea ad that shows maybe how to tie balloons together in the shape of a dog bone, or help people create that potty favor grab bag for their next gathering. If you're a fashion brand, help people match their pets. People are going all out on these parties, so why not help them go out with their fashion? And if you're a food brand, you could have a lot of fun offering menus that keep your furry friends in mind. If you're making a dessert table for the humans, make one for the pup too, filled with pup cups and pup cakes, and really get everyone in on the fun. So next up, we have the YOLO years. I think this is personally one of my favorite trends, if not my favorite trend from our report this year, because it is so highly inclusive. In 2023, Gen X and baby boomers will be planning epic bashes for major milestones. So from 100th anniversary parties to golden anniversary, 50th anniversary cupcakes decorating. This generation we know was hit especially hard in the pandemic, as was everyone, but really the isolation was incredibly taxing. And now that restrictions have eased and some normalcy has reemerged, they are really determined to make the most of the present moment. So celebrations are taking on a new meaning for this audience, which is just beautiful and inspiring. And these bashes are way bigger than just bingo. So look no further than Jubilee cakes and thoughtfully decorated cookies. You know what they say, more years, more reasons to party. So lots of fun ways brands can take advantage of this trend. If you're a celebrations brand or a party store, share decor and playlists and creative ways to celebrate anniversary and birthday milestones. If you're a food and bev brand, highlight both classic and modern drinks and dishes from, top drinks of every decade to new classics. Really add that sort of nostalgia to your creative, especially when highlighting food. And then if you're a beauty brand, feature party-ready looks for any age. Really a great place to take advantage of inclusive imagery here, highlighting models in different age ranges to introduce a wider audience to your beauty products or techniques. So that's it for the YOLO years. Next up, we're going to dive into home, some of our top home trends for the year. So this first trend we've named Hipstoric Home. This one is really, really cool and beautiful. If you search any of these search terms on Pinterest, eclectic interior design vintage, maximalist decor vintage, antique room aesthetic, you will find beautiful imagery that essentially shows how people are finding new ways to honor old stuff in the home. So they're combining vintage, often inherited or thrifted pieces with their modern style. This is a really kind of cool departure from that sort of very white and bright modern farmhouse aesthetic that we've seen a lot, where you definitely can have some of that, but it's really taking these inherited pieces and making them your own in the home. Gen X and baby boomers are driving these trends. And the result is antiques that have never looked more chic. So ways for brands to take advantage of this trend. If you're a home brand, really celebrate the creative side of home improvement. Give people a tutorial on how to build maybe a personal gallery wall or how to style a vintage piece, especially with modern accents. If you are a hobbies and interest brand, share DIY spotlights and tutorials on how to give home accents a lived-in look to achieve those maximalist decor dreams. And maybe you're a FinServe brand or a financial services brand, connect with new homeowners. A lot of people who are really figuring out this style are people who have maybe just moved into a home, and provide guidance on how to, protect their newly found investments and make the most of them. So that is Hipstoric Home. Next one, this is a fun, funky one, introducing mush rooms. So boring homes are a thing of the past. In 2023, Gen Z and baby boomers will make room for quirky design, mushroom decor, and fantasy art in their sacred spaces. So really looking for fun, funky search terms like DIY mushroom decor, vintage mushroom decor, weird core bedroom. And this is a real way that people are taking self-expression, beyond just their clothing and their fashion, and they're really baking it into their homes. So the imagery here is super fun. And some of the ways brands can tap in to this budding mushroom trend is, if you're a home brand, really don't hold back. Lean into these far out visuals, surrealist touches, maybe even in your creative, think like curved lines and neon treatments. Really kind of take a risk because people are searching for it and engaged with it. If you're a hobbies or interest brand, help crafters dabble in fungi, offer ideas on mushroom-inspired DIY products, far out wallpapering, stencils, yarn tutorials. And if you're a retail brand, embrace the weird. Accessorize standard pins with groovy or retro typefaces, textured backgrounds within your styling shots. So feel free to take those risks because your consumers are too. Next up, food and beverage. This trend is called free spirits. This is a really cool trend, which is, it has to do with drinking less alcohol, but it's not about going fully zero proof. It's about really having a bit more of a open relationship with alcohol, where some people, sometimes you want to drink, sometimes you want to have one cocktail and then a mocktail, sometimes you only want mocktails, and it's about releasing the drinking judgment. So consumers are really embracing this new way to think about alcohol. It's definitely drinking less, drinking low ABV, drinking mocktails, but also sometimes having one cocktail a night and then being done. It's a more fluid relationship with alcohol. And we're really seeing a lot of these brands pop up that are non-alcoholic cocktails. And while that's part of it, it's not just about not drinking at all, but it's about having a more mindful and less judgmental open relationship with alcohol. And so some of the ways that brands can tap into this free spirits trend are, maybe you're a beverage brand, create a this or that series that lets people choose their preferred drinks, level up the content by leaning into seasonal flavors to make it extra relevant. If you're a beauty brand, maybe you want to highlight the benefits of a life with or without alcohol, better skin, a little wind down time. Maybe there's a perk to having a glass of water in between each drink. Really just take advantage of this mindfulness that people are bringing to their drinking habits. And if you're a FinServe brand, promote tools that help people track how much they've saved by cutting down or cutting out their drinking habits, because we see that people are really embracing that lifestyle on Pinterest. And finally, for our last trend category, well-being, we are highlighting a trend called primal movement. This is a really beautiful trend. Fitness is getting back to basics in 2023. Think of this as almost like the paleo of fitness, if you will. People are really getting back to their roots. It's not about HIIT workouts and intense spin classes. It's about people trading in their screens for stretches and their desks for tricep dips. So these are primitive anti-tech workouts to really help people put down their phones and prioritize posture, and also reduce tech neck, which we all, I think we're all sitting up a little bit straighter just hearing that. I know I do. Gen X and millennials are driving this trend, searching for things like knee mobility exercises, neck hump exercises, hip mobility exercises. And with remote work here to stay, we don't think that this trend is going away anytime soon. People are just getting more and more mindful about how to move their bodies. And so ways brands can take advantage of this trend. If you're a fitness or tech brand, help people get moving, share body weight exercises and stretches that help them prioritize healthy movement, even if it's only for 5 minutes a day. Maybe you're a fitness apparel brand. Highlight primal movement in your creative. There's some really beautiful poses and stretches that you can feature while people are sort of wearing your apparel. And if you're an office supply brand, help people build better posture habits. So maybe you share simple exercises and posture tips that can help anyone really practice this primal movement trend. And now that was a lot. I know that there's a ton more to discover at pinterestpredicts.com, but now you're probably wondering how to start integrating these trends into your marketing plans. So do not worry, Nikki has you covered, and she's going to take you through some best practices and tips on how to get started. Over to you, Nikki.
Amazing. Thanks, Leah. So I don't know about you all, but it's hard to pick a favorite. Although I've been leaning towards historic homes and airy styles. If you want to dig in again or a bit deeper, you can check out all of our trend boards by scanning the code you see on your screen right now, and just see which one resonates with you the most. So now that we have a taste of trends to come in 2023, I'll share with you some ways you can activate on this program, as well as best practices. So first, I'll share with you a quick overview on how you can own a Pinterest Predicts 2023 trend. There are essentially two ways to own a Pinterest Predicts trend. You can either activate and own a trend with Pinterest with Predict's Trend Badge and a pin pack. This is in partnership with the online studio and it includes subsidized production. So your creative will be customized and meet all of our best practices. The second option is a plus up where you can activate and own a trend with a creator. This will include net new creative developed in partnership with the creator. If you'd like more information on how to lean into Predicts for 2023, please reach out to your sales partner. Or if you're new to Pinterest ads, you can apply for sales support on pinterestpredicts.com. I'll go into some best practices next, but before doing so, I want to take a moment to share our success story with iRobot. This consumer tech company bought our 2022 trend Barkitecture, which was mentioned earlier today. This trend is all about how pampering your pets isn't enough anymore. iRobot owned this trend by showing ads to pet parents on how to amp up their furry family members' living spaces with a Roomba vacuum. And the pins from this full funnel campaign was a win for efficiency and earned CPMs 47% higher than industry benchmarks. So owning a trend can really boost brands' ability to harness the interest and energy around it. But we've also worked hard to create tools for brands and advertisers to take advantage of the power of trends on Pinterest. Introducing the Trends tool. If you've used it before, you should definitely check it out at trends.pinterest.com. The tool is available in 33 countries worldwide, and it's a little different from Pinterest Predicts, which is more forward-looking. The Trend tool enables anyone to be their own trend spotter by looking at recent data on Pinterest. It contains 3 industry-first features to help you plan your campaigns. You won't find these features anywhere else. First, you can understand trends from your engaged audience. Second, you can filter trends by the demographics that matter most to you. And third, you can utilize net new trend types like seasonal trends to align your campaign targeting, timing, and creative. And best of all, trends drive performance. Brands like Ally Financial, Audi, Mac, and Ashley Home Store have already seen that aligning Pinterest campaigns to trends like the ones in this year's Predicts report drives performance gains. And now let's review 4 key considerations when building your Predict campaigns, which will help you get the most optimal outcome for your campaign. First, maximize your impact by using multiple objectives in Ads Manager. Second, inspire your audience by using a combination of ad formats that we offer. Third, implement custom targeting to reach your desired audience. And last, always measure your campaign's effectiveness. I'll go into more detail for each of these now. Our first best practice, running ads using a mix of multiple objectives, helps capture incremental unique reach on Pinterest, helping you maximize your investment. In our study, advertisers who added awareness campaigns to already existing consideration campaigns saw 52% higher unique reach. Likewise, when advertisers add consideration campaigns to their already existing awareness campaigns, they saw 17% higher unique reach. On the next slide, we'll take a look at our ad formats in action and share tips on which ads are optimal for both multi-objective awareness and consideration campaigns. When building your awareness campaigns, we recommend video ad formats first and foremost. Video ads are our autoplay video product that plays in feed while pinners are browsing and searching for ideas. Video ads come in 2 sizes. We have standard width video ads, which are the same size as other pins. And then we have max width video ads, which spans the 2-column feed. Idea ads are our newest ad format built on our immersive idea pin format with a number of new ways for you to take your brand from awareness to consideration. There are 2 formats to consider when building your Predicts trend campaigns. Idea ads with paid partnerships. You can team up with expert creators to build engaging ideas for your brand that you can promote to audiences across Pinterest. This format is available as a part of the creator package available. And standard idea ads are a new format that offers an expansive canvas to bring your brand to life through inspiring video and image content. When moving to setting up your consideration campaigns, there are 2 different format types we recommend you leverage, depending on whether you have a single product or service or multiple products to promote. Collection ads are best for multiple products and services. A collection ad is an ad format that features a hero creative followed by secondary creatives that show relevant products featured in the hero creative. The hero creative may be either a static image or a video. Standard ads are best for single product or service. One of the top asks we get from Pinners is to seamlessly connect them to actionable websites. Standard ads provide a fluid experience for Pinners to connect directly with the content they're seeing, with the content they're interested in, making it simple for them to discover and do. And finally, let's talk about measurement. To understand the impact of your Predicts campaign, we recommend you consider a brand lift study. These are available to qualifying advertisers who meet minimum spend requirements. The study will ask Pinterest users who have seen your ad and users who have not, a series of questions. The survey is delivered via native in-app polling, and the incremental effect of the ads on brand metrics is determined from the delta between treatment and control groups. And to wrap up our session, here is a snapshot of our best practice guidance for you to reference as you start planning your Predicts campaigns on Pinterest. We'll make sure to send this over to you as a part of a post-event email, so expect a copy of this in your inbox very soon. And before we go, we're very excited to let you know that our online learning program, Pinterest Academy, is relaunching soon. The one thing that brands and agencies have told us over time is how people are starved for time to learn and gain experience on how to advertise on Pinterest. With the new Pinterest Academy, you can go and learn everything you need to know to run successful campaigns on Pinterest, all in one place in your own time. It's coming later in Q1 of this year. We'll send you all a note once it's live so you can check it out. Okay, so that wraps up our webinar for today. Thank you all so much for joining. We dug into 8 trends today, but there are so many more waiting for you on PinterestPredicts.com. So please do go and check them out. On behalf of myself, Jenna, and Leah, thank you for joining us today. Happy trend hunting, everyone.